I like your hat.
Thank you. I wanted to ask about your solo album. I know you like to play coy about it, but I was wondering if you had a timeline and if we would have older songs like Stutter or The Muse or I Still Think on it, or new songs?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, between Glee and then I guess hypothetically a Broadway musical or anything else, if I decided to pick anything up along the way, I'll be quite busy, and an album is kind of a hard thing to pull off, much less I have a theater company that I'm trying to run as well, trying to write another show. So yeah, so it's hard. I would love to, but we're all very busy. I'm not the only one. God knows, I mean, Harry's got LXD, and everyone's got other projects they're running, and I would love to, if I can manage to stay alive and get some rest at some point. But yeah, maybe one of those songs would be on there. But thank you so much for even knowing what those were.
Thank you. Next question?
Joe.
Next question? Ooh, fight.
Hello there. I'm wondering about your reaction to the deaf cast members you had on the episode with the deaf school. Was it awkward? And how did you feel with the experience? Was it a comfortable experience for you? Were you able to sign? How did that interaction happen?
You know, the most exciting thing about that process, we had no idea what to expect. The writers wrote, there's a deaf choir performs, and we needed to create that, and we learned a great deal. We learned that in that day. We learned that there are different accents when you're signing. We learned that hearing people sign differently than deaf people, and that when we're creating the lyrics, there was a lot of discussion about how to properly sign the lyrics. But I hope for you it was as exciting as it was for us, because it was incredibly moving on the day, and everyone was so articulate and accomplished so much in a few hours.
Thank you. Next question?
Joe.
Howdy. Oh, hi. Hi, Darren.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi. My question is for Brad. When you guys write your episodes in your storylines, does the music or the story come first? Like, what inspiration? Do you hear a song and say, ooh, I want to write a story for that? Or do you write a story and then put the music to it?
It's always a story first, always. Yeah, it's not. I think that anytime if we would try to have the music, it would be like making a movie based on just the action sequences. Like, it would be really great if there was a great fight here. And it's like, well, I really don't care about the fight, no matter how spectacular it is, if you don't have any feelings about who wins. And so you kind of have to determine the story first, and then the song can fuel that. And that's sort of how we approach it.
Can you tell Michael Bay that, please?
Next question.
Hi, my question is for the writers. I was wondering if we would be able to see more of the characters' families in season 3, like possibly Kurt's lesbian aunt and the and Rachel's dad.
What about Rachel's dad? That's some stunt casting I think people would be okay with.
Yeah, it's tricky with parents, because I think partially, I mean, in the first episode, in Showmans, the first episode after the pilot, we'd actually written a scene with her dads, and we cut it. Like, it didn't...
They showed up for work.
No, I know. Yeah, we pushed on it, and then we actually ended up never filming it. But it's weird, because we've talked about it forever, about different sets of parents, but it isn't... I think it's because sort of when you're in high school, your parents stop being the major influence in your life. You become, you're sort of on your own in a way. I think that's how sort of I explain it to myself, because I can't really figure out why we haven't done some parents yet. But I think soon we'll sort of reveal more and more.
Just do it! Just do it!
Okay, thank you for Naya and Hemo. And my question is Barty or Britannia, and it is for the entire cast.
Those were ship names for the non-nerds at the table. Wait, Barty?
We need Artie! That's right!
The purple Marty McFly?
I'm still a fan of Martina a little bit, no offense. I love you too. But I do like Britannia.
think that relationship, Britannia, like, Britannia, which one is it?
Britannia!
Okay,
It
sorry.
should be Santitney. Santitney is so much funnier. It like won't catch on. I keep saying this and no one pays attention.
Were you surprised by the feedback to Brittany and Santana? I mean, people were really into the two of them.
I think that, we started getting into that storyline almost as a goof at first. It was like this funny joke about them sleeping together because they were so close and we thought it was funny. And then as we started taking some time with it, we realized how we had a group of people that, for this show was so inclusive and representative, and then there was a group of people that we weren't representative of. Is that right? That's right? Representative of?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this whole, sort of lesbian and bisexual female community. And so we said, well, let's get into it. Let's see what this is about, and let's try it. And it was, we're fortunate the network wasn't resistant of it, and sort of let us try it out. And then it became something much deeper. And so we're very proud of it. So I guess we weren't surprised because we knew there was a group of people out there looking for something like that. So.
I also think people, what's so exciting, why people respond to those characters in particular is because they sort of, I think like America watched us realize that we had two incredible talents on our hands that we didn't realize. Like we were both in both Heather Morris and Naya Rivera, who were just, and we just kept uncovering all this stuff. I mean, they would, Heather was sort of cast almost as sort of a, sort of a background dancer, and then Naya was sort of cast as like a pretty face, and then we just realized like that Heather is a comic genius, and is as well, and then has this crazy, incredible voice that we just. So that's what's been exciting about that for us. That it was like, oh my god, how did we get so lucky to get those two actors? Anyway.
So, and just for the record, Santana is a lesbian and Brittany is just into anything.
Pretty much.
He's pretty bit.
Next.
Hi. I know there's been rumors about the cast members leaving the show, but I was wondering if you've given any serious thought about a possible spin-off with Kurt and Rachel and Blaine.
Yeah, we were, yes. It was nice. Peter Rice allowed us to explore that as a possibility, a spin-off with some of those characters. And it was actually, it was weird when Chris Colfer was saying that he heard via Twitter about not coming back, because we've been talking about this since March with all of those actors very specifically. So I don't know quite where that was coming from, because it was something we were exploring. Right now Ryan and I have this other show as well, so you have the two shows, and Glee is sort of, it's this big mothership, and so I think we're leaning against doing it, but we certainly have explored it. We were, it was, like I said, Fox gave us the opportunity to explore it. I think we're going to pass, but it was thought about.
And just for the record, the spin-off would focus on characters like Rachel and Kurt, maybe venturing to New York and pursuing their Broadway dreams.
Possibly. I mean, we didn't get look, if you watched the finale last season, that was certainly something that we were planting as a possibility, because we were investigating it, but we didn't get much further than that, like I said, because it's hard to do this, and so it would be a lot.
Next question.
Hi. My question is for both the writers and Darren. I was wondering, now that Darren is a series regular, congratulations by the way to both you and Harry, will you guys be willing to develop his character more and possibly explore his background, possibly with his relationship with his dad, or even developing relationships with Glee characters, maybe like Santana, where it's a friendship? And
okay, I think that's enough questions. Thanks.
I liked all of those questions.
Yes.
Is Darren Blaine gonna become part of the New Directions? I would imagine he has to, right?
No, I like
You're going to have to tune in. For so many of these things, you have to tune in.
I like Mike that you try and sneak him in there. It's like, oh, casual.